Have you found yourself lying awake in the dark hours, asking questions that have no immediate answers? Perhaps you've checked your phone one more time, refreshed that app again, or caught your own reflection and wondered when things will finally shift. Listen, dear heart, what if the very blessing you're clutching so tightly is simply waiting for your grip to loosen? What if what you're desperately pursuing is already on its way, just not running on the frantic timeline you've created in your mind? Breathe with me for a moment. Nothing theatrical, nothing forced. Just one honest, deep breath that says, I'm still standing, I'm still here. The fact that you're listening right now tells me something beautiful about who you are. You haven't quit. Oh, you may be weary beyond words. You might be holding frustration like a stone in your chest. You could be wearing a brave face while your heart is crying out for relief. But somewhere inside you, there's still a door left open. And when that door remains even slightly ajar, the miraculous can slip through. I need to speak to the tender place inside you, the one that feels you've done absolutely everything correctly. You kept your chin up. You held the vision. You sent up prayers. You spoke life over dead situations. You did the inner work nobody else could see. You waited with as much grace as you could muster, at least where others could witness it. And still, the thing you long for hasn't arrived. Not the healing, not the relationship, not the answer, not the breakthrough, not the relief that would let you finally exhale. And now there's this gnawing whisper growing louder, suggesting maybe you've somehow been overlooked, or perhaps grace has lost your forwarding address. My dear one, nothing has derailed. Let me tell you what truly breaks the human heart. It isn't failure, not really. What wounds us most deeply is continuing to do our very best while results remain invisible. It's that uncomfortable in-between place where our faithful efforts collide with complete uncertainty. And right there, in that unsteady space, our minds begin to spiral. Questions start bubbling up that sound perfectly logical, but leave us feeling hollow inside. Shouldn't I be seeing results by now? Am I approaching this all wrong? If I truly release this, doesn't that mean I've stopped caring? Let me address that last one directly, because it trips up so many beautiful souls. Releasing your death grip doesn't mean your heart grows cold. It means you've decided to stop choking your future with the hands of fear. So many of us absorbed a lie, often from well-meaning people, that if we could just control enough variables, we'd finally be safe. We believe that thinking harder, planning longer, worrying more intensely might somehow shield us from disappointment. But here's what I've learned through tears and triumph alike. Anxiety has never once birthed a miracle. Tension has never accelerated heaven's perfect timing. And force has never, ever made anything feel the way we hoped it would. Your struggle isn't that your desire is too weak. Your struggle is that you want this so intensely that you're clenching your fists around it until your knuckles turn white, when what's needed is the vulnerability of open palms. Why does this distinction matter so much? Because the energy of desperate grasping receives a different response from life than the energy of steady trust. When you're holding on with white knuckles, everything in you goes rigid. Your thoughts become deafening. The still, small voice of intuition gets completely drowned out. But something shifts when you learn to soften, to permit, to trust the process. Suddenly, you become capable of receiving. You slip into alignment. You begin resonating with ease rather than struggle. Let me bring this down to earth for you. Picture your nervous system as though it were a radio trying to pick up a distant station. Anxiety creates nothing but static and interference. Calm allows the signal to come through with crystal clarity. Everything you're longing for, love, Direction, opportunity, breakthrough, provision is already being transmitted. The broadcast never stops. But when you're trapped in urgency and consumed by fear, it's like trying to make out a whisper during a hurricane. Trusting the pace of your life isn't passive resignation or spiritual laziness. It's intelligent collaboration with the way life actually works. There's a truth I've built my life around, and I want to offer it to you now. What feels like punishment is actually preparation, and preparation rarely looks impressive to our impatient ego, though it's absolute perfection to the deeper part of us that knows better. I understand this sounds almost too simple when you're the one sitting in the waiting room. So let's get practical, because beautiful ideas without handles to hold on to are just empty words. I want to give you a framework that you can slip into gently, like a well-worn sweater, not another rigid rule to follow. Think of it as 3 movements: release, realign, receive. First, release. This isn't some dramatic moment where you shout your surrender and never look back. Release is something you practice, often daily, sometimes hourly. It begins with raw honesty. Try saying these words to yourself. I want this so badly it frightens me. I'm scared it might never come. That simple admission alone can unknot the tension inside. You don't need to perform enlightenment. You just need to be truthful. Then pay attention to where you're holding on too tightly. Are you obsessively looking for signs? Replaying old conversations in your mind? Measuring your progress against someone else's carefully curated social media life? There's no shame in any of that. It's completely human. But awareness creates the possibility of change. Here's something you can do this very day. Rest one hand gently over your heart and speak these words slowly enough to feel them. I'm willing to stop controlling exactly how and when this unfolds. Notice I'm not asking you to release the desire itself, just your demand to micromanage the delivery. Second, realign. This isn't about forcing yourself to think positive thoughts. It's about choosing thoughts that bring relief instead of more pressure. Rather than telling yourself it absolutely must happen immediately or you'll shatter, try this instead. Even in this waiting, I'm being held by something larger than my fear. Instead of declaring that nothing's working, experiment with, something good is rearranging itself on my behalf, even if I can't see it yet. Your body will be your most honest guide here. Aligned thoughts feel like your shoulders finally dropping. Misaligned thoughts feel like your jaw clenching tight. One practice I return to constantly is asking myself, what would trust actually look like for me today? Not for the rest of my life, not even for next week, just today. Maybe trust looks like letting yourself rest without the guilt. Maybe it means taking one clear action and then stepping back. Maybe it's catching yourself checking your email for the 17th time, laughing at your own anxiety, and choosing to walk outside instead. Third, receive. This is the movement most people skip entirely because they don't believe they're allowed to receive anything until their whole life is perfect. But receiving is like a muscle that grows stronger with use. You build that capacity by saying yes to small goodness right now. A kind word, an offer of help, an unexpected moment of beauty, a surprising gift of peace. When you accept these small graces, you're sending a signal to life itself. I'm ready. I'm open. Miracles rarely show up the way we expect them. They arrive disguised as detours. They come through conversations you almost avoided, through delays that protected you from disaster, through endings that cleared space for something immeasurably better. And they tend to appear when you finally stop watching the door and demanding they knock. Let me share something from my own journey. Some of the most stunning blessings in my life came after I stopped bargaining with fear. I stopped declaring, once this happens, then I'll finally relax. And I started choosing, I'll relax right now and let life meet me in this softer place. This doesn't mean you become passive or lazy. Trust is active, not passive. It's listening to your intuition instead of your panic. It's taking action from a place of clarity instead of desperation. It's knowing when to move forward and when to be still. Here's one simple, practical step you can take today. Just one. Choose a single area where you've been mentally hovering and worrying and conduct a 24-hour trust experiment. For one complete day, you don't obsess over it. You don't chase reassurance. You don't rehearse disaster scenarios in your mind. When your thoughts start their familiar spiral, you kindly say, "Not today, thank you." And then you redirect your attention to something that actually nourishes you. You might be genuinely surprised by how much energy returns to you when you stop trying to manage what only heaven can orchestrate. And yes, I'm gently smiling as I tell you this, because I've learned that the universe doesn't appreciate our micromanagement. It has a sense of humor, the loving kind that whispers, "Oh, sweetheart, if you could glimpse what I'm putting together for you, you'd stop rushing me. I need you to hear something that might change everything. Your value, your worth, your belovedness, none of that is measured by how quickly your dreams materialize. You're not running late. You're not falling behind. You're standing exactly where the next layer of grace can find you. If something in these words is touching that tender place inside you, I invite you to respond. You could simply write, "I trust the timing of my life." Or you could choose one small release practice today and actually do it. Not perfectly, not impressively, just gently. As we continue walking together through these words, let them settle into your body, not just your head. You don't have to solve everything. You don't have to carry this alone. Life isn't withholding blessings from you. It's working with you lovingly, wisely, and always for your ultimate good. Stay with me here. Allow yourself to soften just a bit more. There's a quiet strength that awakens the moment you stop fighting the present moment. Not because you've given up, but because you've finally stopped battling yourself. And that strength, beloved, creates the safe space where miracles can finally land. I want to speak directly to that part of you that carries guilt about resting. The part convinced that if you relax your vigilance, you'll miss your one chance. Or if you loosen your grip, everything will crumble. That belief didn't appear from nowhere. Many of us learned early, without anyone intending harm, that love and approval and safety all had to be earned through constant striving. So of course you learn to grip tightly. Of course you learn to push relentlessly. There is nothing defective in you for responding that way. But here's the shift in perspective that can transform everything. Effort and strain are not identical. You can be deeply devoted without being desperate. You can be genuinely committed without being constantly exhausted. Imagine planting a seed in good soil. You prepare the ground carefully. You place the seed with intention. You water it faithfully. And then, if you dig it up every single day to verify it's growing, what happens? You destroy the very process you're hoping to see unfold. Trusting timing isn't neglect or abandonment. It's respecting the wisdom already built into life itself. When you release control, you're not announcing to heaven, "I don't care anymore." You're declaring, "I trust you to work with me, not against me." That trust sends a powerful message through your entire being. Your shoulders release, your breathing deepens, your mind clears, and in that state, you become more intuitive, more creative, more responsive to the subtle guidance that's always available. This is precisely why forcing seldom produces what we truly want. When you're forcing, you're usually operating from fear of scarcity. When you're trusting, you're operating from a knowing that there's enough. And abundance never rushes. It arrives precisely when it should. Let's talk honestly about timing, because this is where many precious hearts lose hope. Perfect timing doesn't mean convenient timing. It doesn't promise painless timing. It means aligned timing, the moment when you're genuinely ready to receive without undermining yourself. The moment when what you receive can actually be sustained instead of collapsing under old patterns you haven't yet healed. Sometimes what feels like an agonizing delay is actually divine protection. Protection from repeating painful cycles. Protection from settling for less than you deserve. Protection from receiving something before you're capable of enjoying it without self-sabotage. Let me ask you a question, not to judge, but to illuminate. Who are you becoming while you wait? Because waiting isn't wasted time or empty space. It's formative. It's where patience deepens its roots, where boundaries become clear, where self-trust grows strong. These qualities don't feel dramatic or impressive, but they form the foundation for miracles that actually last. Here's another practice you can begin immediately. When impatience rises up in you, instead of demanding, "When will this finally happen?" try asking, "What is this present moment trying to teach me?" That simple question shifts you from feeling like a victim to becoming a partner with life itself. It opens curiosity instead of resistance. Another powerful shift is to stop making your peace dependent on future outcomes. Peace isn't a reward you receive after everything works out perfectly. Peace is a frequency you choose that helps things work out. When you practice being okay right now, you're not settling for less. You're calibrating yourself to receive more. And yes, I know some days even okay feels unreachable. On those days, aim for neutral. Aim for kind. Aim for I have no idea how this resolves, and I'm still allowed to breathe. There's an affirmation I want you to try, especially when your mind starts racing ahead. Say it slowly enough to feel each word. I release the struggle and allow life to surprise me. Pay attention to how your body responds. That response is your deepest truth speaking. You may discover that when you stop forcing, unexpected clarity appears. A conversation happens. An idea drops into your mind. An old door closes so a better one can swing open. These aren't coincidences. These are responses to your newfound openness. I need to say something vital, especially if you've been comparing your journey to anyone else's. Someone else's timing has absolutely nothing to do with yours. Their path isn't your measuring stick. Life isn't a race to be won. It's a rhythm to be honored. And your rhythm is sacred. If you're willing, here's one small action you can take today. Choose something you've been pressuring yourself about and consciously lift that pressure for the rest of this day. Not forever, just today. Replace pressure with presence. Notice what changes in your energy. And if this message is resonating somewhere deep inside you, let me know by leaving a comment or simply sit with it quietly and allow it to soften the hard places. Connection amplifies healing. As we come to the end of our time together, I want you to remember this truth. Miracles aren't reserved for the fortunate or the flawless. They come to those willing to trust, to release, and to receive. You haven't been forgotten. You're not running late. You're in a beautiful, ongoing conversation with life itself. Stay open. Stay gentle with yourself. And trust this with everything in you. The universe isn't running late. It's perfectly precise.